This first tip is actually 3. For every good team that you can join in the game, there is a different faction that you can join, and this changes the game drastically. For example, in Act 1, instead of siding with the Emerald Grove and trying to help the usual good guys, you can go to the Goblin camp immediately, pass a couple of quick checks, and talk to their leader, Minthara, and proceed to join her. And now you have switched sides in this early game war. The second is in Act 2, where you can actually directly help the True Souls and be on their side to begin with. And in Act 3, you can very easily side with Gortash in order to take over the world together. This second one starts in character creation. The game changes wildly if you choose the Dark Urge character. This is a sort of secondary custom character that you can choose, and this choice will actually cause a lot of changes throughout the whole game. You don't need a custom character, Dark Urge or otherwise. The already pre-built characters of the game have their own wild stories to play through, and Larian is known for building their games around these characters in particular. You can actually unlock a secret ending by simply allowing Gale to become the walking, talking, gay atom bomb that he was always destined to be. Simply take him with you to the final part of Act 2 and let him Hiroshima the fuck out of these candy-ass The build you play actually affects the game a lot, not just in gameplay, although I will argue that if what you are looking for is a different game to be played, as in you're bored, by all means go ahead and play as an unarmed monk, or try to master some specific forms of magic, or become the tankiest thing possible and watch how enemies will sometimes not even bother to hit you because they know your defenses are too high. By all means, have fun with that, but like I said, this is a side point. The actual thing I'm trying to get at here in number 5 is that the build you play actually changes the story a bit. For example, if you're a paladin, you actually have to uphold your holy oath. Otherwise, if you break it, you might just get a visit from the Oathbreaker Knight. And that is its own story. And throughout the game, the choices you've made for whatever build you chose will change the game up. For example, if you've built a strong fighter, you will be able to just brute force your way through a lot of the game. Whereas if you built a genius magician, you will come up with all kinds of crazy ideas to change things up throughout the journey. This is a role-playing game after all. The role you chose affects how you play. I will throw in a bonus number 6. The companions you have change drastically depending on the choices you've made for them. So for example, allowing Shadowheart to become a Dark Justiciar. It's an evil option, sure enough, but it will grant you access to an entirely different experience. Or letting Asterion become the Vampire Ascendant. You can let Will kill Carla, and so on, etc, etc. Anyway, that's the end of the video. If you wanted more story, there are your options. But if you're bored of the game in general, my advice, again, my best advice really, is to try playing a different build. It switches the game up quite a bit and gives you an entirely new sense of progression towards whatever build it is you're going for. And yes, it also does change the story.